If you like storytime vibes, hit subscribe and let's dive in together.
They say heartbreak announces itself with thunder, shouting, storming, slamming doors. Mine arrived in a whisper. I'm getting married to someone else. Those 6 words detonated inside me like someone had pulled the pin and tossed a grenade straight into my chest. Yet I didn't explode. I didn't break. I didn't scream or beg or collapse like she expected. Instead, I smiled, or at least my face did. Inside, something ancient and tired quietly died. She stood there in our doorway, backlit by the late afternoon sun, as if God Himself wanted to spotlight her betrayal. Her hands trembled, but not with guilt. No, she was waiting for a reaction, waiting for me to melt like she believed I always would. She wanted chaos, tears, proof I still worshipped her. But what came out of my mouth was calm, eerily calm. Perfect. Move in with him. Her expression shattered, like a mirror dropped from heaven. It was the first time I watched her lose control instead of pretending she had it. And that's when I realized she never expected to lose me. She just expected to hurt me. I used to think love died loudly. Fights, accusations, someone slamming the door so hard the house remembers it for years. But ours, it faded, quietly, softly, like dust settling on a forgotten shelf. There was a time I would have died for her. Not metaphorically, genuinely. If life asked me to trade mine for hers, I would have handed it over like a spare coin. I loved her that blindly. We used to spend Sunday mornings tangled on the sofa, eating French toast she made while humming her favorite song. I'd run my fingers through her hair and imagine a future with her. Kids, a messy kitchen, laughter in the hallways. Then slowly, almost invisibly, we became strangers occupying the same rooms. We still laughed sometimes, still ate dinner together, but the warmth, it had turned into habit, a routine disguised as love. I ignored the signs, or maybe I noticed but refused to care. The late night phone checks, the sudden new outfits, the extra time at work, the way she flinched when I said, I love you, like the words weighed too much now. I kept convincing myself everything was just a phase, that love comes in seasons, and ours was in winter. But she didn't want spring with me anymore. She wanted a thrill, a spark, something reckless and intoxicating, something I had already given her long ago, before stability bored her. She didn't leave me because she stopped being loved. She left because she stopped feeling special. And when she dropped that bomb, I'm engaged. It wasn't love speaking. It was her ego begging for validation. I wasn't her partner anymore. I was her stage. She blinked at me like I'd just rewritten physics. She had expected tears, not indifference. Control, not silence. Ethan, don't be like that. Like that? Like what? Like a man who finally saw the truth? She hovered there, torn between ego and panic. I grabbed my keys, walked past her, and said, You have until Sunday to move out. Her jaw dropped. I could practically hear the script in her head tearing apart. She thought I'd beg, that I'd ask who he was, that I'd fight for her like some desperate protagonist in her personal drama. But I wasn't fighting for someone who weaponized insecurity. Sunday came. She was still there, boxes half filled, clothes still hanging like ghosts of a relationship long expired, and on the kitchen counter, the ring I gave her, sitting like a cruel joke. Why are you still here? I asked. I can't go to him yet, she whispered. I laughed. Genuinely. You're engaged. You can't go. Why? It's complicated. No, it was simple. She wasn't leaving because she loved me. She wasn't staying because she didn't. She wanted options. One man for excitement. One man for stability. And I had been her emotional insurance policy for far too long. So I started packing her clothes. Quiet, patient, surgical. Ethan, stop. You can't just throw me out. You made your choice, I said. I'm just helping you live with it. That night, she sat on the couch, staring at nothing. Not crying, just stunned. For the first time, I held the silence, and she drowned in it. Ethan, she whispered, you don't understand. No, I said quietly. I finally do. She wanted me to be shattered. Wanted proof she still mattered. That she could break me and I would still crawl back, holding flowers and apologies for sins I never committed. But I had already mourned us long before she announced her fake engagement. The betrayal wasn't new. The announcement didn't kill me. It only confirmed what my heart already suspected. She wasn't engaged. She wasn't even sure she wanted that man. She just wanted to see if I still considered her worth fighting for. Manipulation wears the mask of vulnerability sometimes. She came into my room later, voice trembling. You didn't even ask who it was. Does it matter? I asked. It was someone from work, she murmured. I nodded. Then I hope your office romance has good benefits. She laughed. Not because it was funny, but because her ego was bleeding out. The next morning, she cooked French toast, the same one from our good days. Nostalgia is a dangerous drug. It smells like comfort, but tastes like regret. Eat, she said softly. You haven't eaten. I stood, untouched by the memory she was trying to resuscitate. Why are you doing this? I asked. Because I made a mistake. Which part? I asked. Getting engaged or lying about it? She swallowed hard. Both. I didn't want to leave, she whispered. I just wanted to feel wanted again. There it was. The truth. Not romantic, not tragic, just selfish. You were wanted, I said. You just didn't notice when love got quiet. Not dramatic enough. For her taste. Not cinematic. Real love isn't a fireworks show. Sometimes it's the quiet safety of coming home. But some people confuse peace with boredom, and some confuse chaos with passion. She reached for my hand. I stepped back. You don't test love, expecting it to survive. I grabbed my keys and left. Sometimes survival looks like escape. I drove until the city disappeared and found myself staring at a lake so still it felt like time forgot to breathe. I replayed everything, every Sunday morning, every tired argument, every time she made me feel like loving her wasn't enough. She thought announcing an engagement would force me to prove my love. Instead, it freed me. When I returned, her things were gone. The house felt hollow, but not in a tragic way. In a cleansed way, like it had been holding its breath and finally exhaled. She left a note. I didn't mean to lose you. I was just scared you already left me in your heart. Maybe I had. Maybe she just realized it too late. Closure isn't a conversation. Sometimes it's the silence after everything breaks, the kind that doesn't hurt anymore. Months passed. I moved downtown, traded space for simplicity, chaos for clarity. Some mornings I wake up and the sun hits differently. Clean, soft, honest. I still make French toast sometimes. Same recipe, same cinnamon, same golden edges. But the meaning changed. Once that breakfast meant comfort with her. Now it means peace with myself. I don't check my phone for apologies. Don't stalk her socials. Don't rehearse speeches I'll never deliver. One night she texted, I'm sorry. I stared. Not with anger, not longing, just neutrality, the rarest form of peace. I locked my phone. People think love ends in fire and screaming, but sometimes it ends like this. A slow sunrise, an empty chair that no longer hurts. A quiet morning where you only pour one cup of coffee and it feels right. She wanted control. I wanted peace. Turns out peace is quieter, but stronger. She thought she could break me. Instead, she taught me to let go. And now, when I sit at my small kitchen table, fork in hand, sun streaming through half open blinds, biting into that first warm piece of toast, I realized something simple and profound. True love was never about choosing her. It was about finally choosing myself.